Hello, dear souls, and welcome to this sacred space where we explore the profound teachings of spirituality. Today, our journey takes us deep into the transformative realm of suffering, the greatest teacher on the path to spiritual awakening. In the crucible of hardship, we discover the alchemy of the soul. Join me in this exploration as we delve into how suffering can serve as a potent catalyst for profound spiritual transformation. Suffering is an inherent part of the human experience. Whether it manifests as physical pain, emotional turmoil, or existential angst, suffering touches each of our lives. It's crucial to acknowledge the reality of suffering without judgment. It is not a sign of failure, but a universal thread that weaves through the tapestry of existence. There are two forms of suffering. There is the suffering created by your hyperactive mind, which manifests as living in complete denial of what is. Or this could be simply clinging on past regrets or future anxieties. And there is the suffering created by the outside world, which you don't have a contribution. It has been said that 90% of suffering is not created by the outside situations, it is created by your mind, by resisting energetically to situations unfolding right now. This is when you are completely identified with the mind by basically resisting the isness of the present moment. Suffering often acts as a wake-up call, a gentle tap on the shoulder urging us to pay attention to the deeper aspects of our being. It prompts us to question the nature of our existence, our purpose, and the meaning behind the challenges we face. Instead of resisting suffering, consider it an invitation to embark on a journey of self-discovery. Suffering acts as a mirror, reflecting the aspects of ourselves that may need attention and healing. It reveals the unexplored corners of our psyche, bringing to light buried emotions, unresolved traumas, and unexamined beliefs. In the reflection of suffering, we find the raw material for our spiritual transformation. The alchemy of suffering lies in the transformative process of turning pain into wisdom. As we navigate the depths of our suffering, we gain insights, resilience, and a profound understanding of the human experience. Each challenge becomes a crucible for the refinement of our character and the expansion of our consciousness. At the crossroads of suffering, we are presented with a choice: to succumb to despair or to embark on a spiritual journey of awakening. The path of awakening involves facing our suffering with courage and a willingness to learn. It's a journey that invites us to transcend the limitations of our ego and connect with the deeper dimensions of our being. The dark night of the soul, also known as ego death, is a profound phase in the spiritual journey, often catalyzed by intense suffering. In this darkness, we confront our deepest fears and insecurities. It's a time of profound soul-searching, where we shed layers of conditioning and emerge into the light of a higher understanding. Suffering brings with it valuable lessons. It teaches us empathy, compassion, and the impermanence of all things. Instead of viewing suffering as an enemy, embrace it as a guide, a teacher offering profound insights into the nature of existence. In the crucible of suffering, we refine our understanding of life and the interconnectedness of all beings. Compassion is the balm that soothes the wounds of suffering. When we approach our own suffering with self-compassion and extend compassion to others facing similar challenges, we create a healing ripple effect. Compassion is the bridge that connects us to the shared human experience, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles. Suffering often arises from the egoic mind's attachment to desires, expectations, and a distorted sense of self. The spiritual journey calls us to transcend the limitations of the ego, to recognize that our true essence goes beyond the transient experiences of pleasure and pain. In this transcendence, we discover a profound sense of freedom. Suffering builds resilience. Like a tree that strengthens its roots in the face of a storm, our spirits become more resilient through the challenges we endure. The setbacks, heartbreaks, and trials become opportunities for growth, shaping us into more resilient and compassionate beings. Suffering serves as a guide on the awakening journey. It propels us forward, encouraging us to seek deeper meaning and purpose in life. In the face of adversity, we turn inward, discovering a wellspring of strength and wisdom that transcends the limitations of the material world. The awakening journey is a transformative pilgrimage from suffering to enlightenment. Surrender is a key aspect of navigating suffering. It is not a surrender of weakness but an acceptance of the divine flow of life. In surrendering, we relinquish the illusion of control and open ourselves to the guiding hand of the universe. Trusting in the divine flow, we find solace and purpose in the midst of suffering. Forgiveness is a powerful healer in the realm of suffering. By forgiving ourselves and others, we release the shackles of resentment and free ourselves from the burdens of the past. Forgiveness is not condoning the actions that led to suffering but a conscious choice to unburden our hearts and move forward with grace. Suffering often stems from the complexity of our minds and the stories we tell ourselves. The spiritual journey invites us to embrace the simplicity of being. Strip away the layers of identification with the ego, and in the simplicity of pure presence, we find peace. Suffering loses its grip when we reside in the simplicity of the present moment. The art of letting go is a liberation from the chains of suffering. Letting go is not an act of resignation but a conscious choice to release attachments and surrender to the flow of life. In letting go, we discover the spaciousness of our true nature, a realm beyond the limitations of suffering. Impermanence is a fundamental truth that underlies the nature of all things. Suffering arises when we resist the natural flow of impermanence. Embracing the wisdom of impermanence, we realize that change is the only constant. In this realization, suffering transforms into a gentle reminder to appreciate the fleeting beauty of each moment. Before we conclude, let's engage in a guided meditation to transform the energy of suffering. Find a comfortable space, close your eyes, and allow the meditation to guide you through a journey of healing and transcendence. As we return from the meditation, take a moment for reflection. How does it feel to approach suffering as a transformative force? Share your reflections in the comments below, and let this be a space for shared insights and collective healing. Thank you for joining me on this profound exploration of the alchemy of suffering. Remember, dear souls, that suffering is not the end but a doorway to transformation. If this message resonates with you, consider sharing it with others who may find solace and guidance on their journey. Until we meet again, be well, be love, and be at peace. Namaste.